Hi guys, here we are again, Shven Ben, making some pinto beans that I'm going to turn into some refried beans. Of course, I'm making a whole pot, and that takes a while for them to cook. So I'll get back with you when they're done. But basically, you want to keep on boiling them, and it usually takes about maybe 3 hours. For them to come on or to finish, and it all depends on how high you have your heat. And you want to keep on adding water as it evaporates because you don't want your beans to dry out and burn. Okay, so that's one thing. The next thing I'm doing is I'm making in my slow cooker. I'm making a top roast in my crock pot, and I've got it on high. Now that's going to usually take about 4 or 5 hours, depending on your crock pot. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make some enchiladas, and I'm going to be adding some things to it shortly because I don't want it to add them too soon. But basically, I'm going to have some onion ground pepper or onion green pepper, and I might throw some poblano in there and some garlic. And I'm going to let all this cook, but I'm also going to put in some rotel chopped tomatoes and green pepper, which is the jalapeno that's in there, in with this as well. And I'm going to let that all cook up so that the meat can absorb all the juices. And when it comes out, you're going to it's just going to be fantastic. I mean, the smell is going to be great, the flavor is going to be great, and then we'll go from there with the tortillas and the enchiladas sauce and all that, and I'll show you how that's done. So anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, just want to let you know my beans are still cooking. They're not far from being done. They're going to take a little bit of time still, but they're not far. My meat has been cooking for a couple hours. Now I'm ready to add the vegetables. Okay, and what I'm going to add is one poblano chili. It's not hot. It just adds a certain spice to it that really tastes great. Then a green pepper. Now let me tell you that poblano pepper is not even as not hot or much hotter, or a green pepper is not hot. A poblano pepper is not hot. They just have their distinct flavors and spice to it that adds to the food. So I'm adding a poblano pepper, a green pepper, an onion, yellow onion. That's usually mostly what I cook with is yellow onions. I just love the taste. And a can of rotel. Okay, diced tomatoes with green chilies. And I'm going to add that all into my meat mixture, and then you'll see how it's going to come out. But it still needs to cook some more. So, okay, we'll be back. I'm just going to chop these up and then put them in. And the way I'm going to chop them up is I'm just going to give it a rough chop. It doesn't matter. And then we put them in, because all we're going for is a flavor, and you'll see what I'm talking about once I show you what it looks like when it gets closer to being done. Alright, be right back. So here's what I got. These are my poblano peppers. Well, it's only one. This is my green pepper, my onion. Like I said, it's roughly chopped. And then my rotel chilies. And I'm getting ready to pour this into the meat that's been in the slow cooker. So I'm getting ready to do that now. Okay. Oh, this is going to be so good. If you can only smell this, you would be amazed on how good this smells. Just splitting it up like that, a little bit, just to get it in there. Oh, this is going to be so good. It smells good right now, just without the onion and all that, but if you can imagine, now it may seem like I'm putting a lot of onions in here, but you know what? What's going to happen is, as it cooks, they're going to kind of like melt down, you know, disintegrate into the juice and whatnot. You'll still have a little bit left at the end of it, but it's gonna take all the flavors and really combine with the meat. Okay, just getting the rest of that. This was one big onion, so. Okay, next I pour in my green pepper. Gosh, if you make this at home, you're just gonna love it. I mean, you won't. You wonder how you get the special flavors in the Mexican food that these Mexican restaurants give you or make for you. This is how. But you know, you have to do it in steps, because if you don't, then it's just going to be like an American Mexican restaurant like Taco Bell, and it's not a Mexican restaurant. I call their tacos cheater tacos. And I'll show you that story later on when I make a recipe for tacos, because my wife and I love the original Mexican tacos. We don't get into the cheater tacos. I mean, we call them cheater tacos because sometimes it's convenient. But aside from that, that's what we call them. Okay, now my tomatoes, my rotel. There we go. Everybody's in. Okay, now let me grab my spoon right here. We're going to give it a quick stir. Oh, it already smells good. If you can imagine the flavor of like Santa Fe. Oh my gosh, you'll know the smell of this. I mean, that's what it smells like. Now, once it's even cooks a little bit more with the meat, you'll just be amazed on how good this tastes. Okay, now I'm going to cover this. I'm going to cover it and we'll be right back. Okay, here's the meat, and I'm going to take it out and I'm going to shred it, and well, I'm going to make my wife a taco with it, and the rest I'm going to make some enchiladas. My beans are done, and as you can see, this is what they should look like. Okay, now I'm also making some refried beans. We love refried beans here. And then I'm going to use this smasher to crush them down and make them into refried beans. And all I have is, I have the juice of the beans in here with a little bit of oil. And that's how we do it. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, you can see that the refried beans are almost done. I've got them on low right now, and they're almost ready to go. Now I'm getting ready to shred the beef, and I'll be right back with a full plate. Okay. Okay, so I've taken some of the juice out of the crock pot that I cooked the meat in, put it in the pot, and then I'm going to add This time, I'm not doing authentic enchilada sauce, but I'm going to add McCormick's enchilada seasoning into the sauce and stir it in and make my enchilada sauce. But normally I would use dried red peppers, like chile pasilla or chile ancho, and make it together, and that's authentic, and that's normally the way I do it. But it's getting late, so I decided to do it this way. But I'll show you that another time. But this is the quick way, so just to let you know. And these are my refried beans. They look really good. They taste great. And they're ready to go. And then I have my Mexican rice, which I made a bunch of it a little while ago. And I froze it. And so I'm going to have that also on the side. And I'll show you that as soon as I get done with this. Okay. Here we go. Okay, now that it's boiling, I'm going to pour in the enchilada seasoning. And then once that's in there, I'm going to stir it. Whisk it with I'm going to whisk it pretty good. And this is going to be my enchilada sauce. Okay, once that's done, I'll be right back. Okay, this is how refried beans should really look like. They shouldn't be dry at all. And, unfortunately some people don't care, but this is how it should be. They should be nice and moist and very pliable. Now what I'm doing here is I'm going to fry some oil and put my tortilla in there, which is a corn tortilla, and I'm going to put it in here for a few seconds, only just to get it wet. Then I'm going to put it in my enchilada sauce that I just made. And then once I do that, I'm going to put it in my plate. And I'm going to put the filling in it. And I'll go from there. Okay. Okay, so I rolled my first enchilada. Just want to show you. And what I did is fried it in oil for a few seconds. Then I put it in the enchilada sauce. And I rolled it, and that's what it looks like. I'm going to do another one, and I stuffed it with beef, cheddar cheese, and then the next thing is we're going to bake it. I'll go from there. Bye. Okay guys, so this is how it looks. Got 2 enchiladas, refried beans, and got my rice there. And that's my meal tonight. I want you to know that once I put that on there, I put the plate in the oven at 350 for, I don't know, a couple of minutes, just enough for the cheese to melt. And I guarantee you, this is something you'll love. You need to try this. And if you like it, hope you subscribe to my channel. And until next time, enjoy.